Okay, next is Changbin. If I was to write a letter about Changbin, he's so adorable. I think I find Changbin to be one of the more adorable members, and that's because there's something very solid about him. I think many people bring it out, even the members bring it out. It's almost like you're coming in contact with a wall. But there's such an interesting contrast with you feeling him being like stoic and steadfast and firm, and him being very inviting. It really shocks me. Like, we talk a lot about Felix's voice and whatnot, but Changbin has a very interesting um voice, especially when rapping and even when singing. The guy is, you know what, I don't get how people can only like one member of Stray Kids. Like, if you're a true fan, I don't get it. Like, you're always getting whiplash from being like, oh, this is my bias, and then you interact with another one and you're like, oh no, maybe this is my bias, and then and oh no, like, you're constantly getting bias wrecked. Like, I don't think you can only ever just like one. Like, yeah, you might have your alt, but they are so talented. Like, they are so talented, they are so funny, like, they all have their own personalities which are so engaging and just beautiful and intriguing. And they are so, I think, because they all come across as honest and authentic in who they particularly are. It's such a, um, a breath of fresh air in an industry where so many people seem almost like their character is made up. And I'm seeing a lot more groups coming up who have this carefree kind of attitude, where they are leaning more into not being like so controlled anymore, and having like this versatility. But a lot of it looks manufactured. Like, a lot of the degree of freedom looks manufactured compared to a group like Stray Kids, where you can see that this person is just who they are. And I love that about Changbin. I love his dance. Like, most people, I think, also don't pay attention to it. But when that man dances, he dances. He's so cute. He's so handsome. He's so present to himself. I thoroughly enjoy that he's dedicated, like, to the gym and his health. And I mean, they all are. This is the thing. Like, when you talk about a good quality about one of the Stray Kids members, it's hard not to bring in the others, because they all have this ability to just work as a unit, and in their own niches, in their own lanes, execute what they are supposed to for the betterment of the team and themselves. you know I was so proud when he got his brand ambassadorship. I'm like, Changbin, finally. This is so nice for you. I'm so happy, because like the others already had brand deals, and it was him and Han left. And I'm like, please, somebody, can't you see him? Can't you do something for him? And Stray Kids have this ability to make you want good things for them. How they do it, I have absolutely no idea. But you want them to progress. You don't ever get to a point where, like, oh, I mean, we all know these guys are rich. Like, I mean, they're rich. It's not like they're struggling for money. But you're like, you need more. You should have more. Like, more should come your way. And I think it's also because they are so generous in their giving and in their betterment of other people's lives. And it really is just an interesting phenomenon. I love his interaction with the members. I love how he supports Chan so much. Everybody does, but there's an interesting way and interesting dynamic the two of them have. You can see he really, like, Chan name really, like, relies on him to be his strength. And he's also got the character of being the knight similarly. And for him, not only is he the knight, if I was to describe him other than that, I feel like he's due, or no, I think dew on a hot day. Dew is like the residue water you find when you wake up, but he's that on a hot day. Like when you have reached your end, when you're tired, when you're exhausted, when you feel like, oh my God, I can't go anymore, he's that. He's that breath of fresh air, and in as much as he is solid, and he probably is a no-nonsense person, they're all very serious people, and that's why it's so interesting how they can come off almost carefree. That's a trait that I don't know. Those guys, they inspire me to be better. And I think we draw inspiration from different things, and sometimes the things we draw inspiration from, or the people we draw inspiration from, doesn't make sense to everybody. But when you find people or things that make you want to be better, learn what you can from them. You don't have to absorb everything, but within what is acceptable to you, your moral compass, what you believe in, your religion, your culture, learn. There's a lot we can learn from them. I love his musicality. I love every time I hear him just get on a beat. I love hearing him rap. I love the tone of his vibrato. Like, I like how his voice comes out when he raps. You can just see he knows his it. He knows his it, and he is. He is. So yeah, that's Changbin. And if I was to write a letter to him, it would just be, you're doing so well. It's unfortunate that sometimes people don't see you for who you are, and I wish more people would take interest in exploring who he is as a person, separate from the group. Because I think to really appreciate each of the members of the group, you kind of have to look at them as individuals and appreciate them from that angle, and then appreciate them in the group. And a lot of people don't take the time to do that. So yeah, that's Changbin.